With 86 days to next February's presidential election, the Independent National Electoral Commission has declared that there would be no voting by anybody without his or a permanent voter's card. Speaking at a retreat for newly appointed Resident Electoral Commission, Chairman of the Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, emphasized the No PVC, No Voting Riot Act and expressed regret that in the last few months, INEC facilities had been destroyed in no fewer than 5 local government areas across Nigeria. At the same occasion, Inspector General of Police Usman Baba vowed to arrest and prosecute touts obstructing campaigns by opposition political parties, as well as politicians indulging in vote buying during the 2023 polls. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives on Wednesday condemned all forms of attacks on the facilities and buildings of the federal government, particularly attacks on the facilities and infrastructure of INEC. Festus Okoye is INEC National Commissioner and Chairman of the Election Management Body's Information and Voter Education Committee. He joins us now for a quick chat. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.
Thank you so much.
Well, the attacks on INEC offices, it's actually worrisome. We know that in Ogun, Oshun, even in Ogun State, there's been arson attacks which has led to the loss of thousands of uncollected permanent voters' card. Does this mean that this set of voters that are affected will not be able to participate in the 2023 elections?
No, they will participate in the 2023 general election. What we have done is that in all the states and all the local governments where some of these attacks have occurred and where we lost some permanent voters' cards of persons who had previously registered, we have directed the resident electoral commissioners in all these states to harvest the VIN numbers or the voter identification number of all the PVCs that were either destroyed or lost so that we can reprint these PVCs. So the moment they harvest all these burnt or lost PVCs, we will be in a position to quickly reprint those PVCs and then get the PVCs back to the various states and the various local governments so that the owners can come and collect them. And so we have the capacity to reprint these PVCs and get them back to the owner, to the owners.
Okay, that's very good to hear. Concerning those who might have been responsible for arson in a few of the INEC office and for other violence in the INEC offices, has there been any investigation so far? Have they been found, pointed out? Will they be prosecuted? Is there any update as to what the motives of those individuals who have been causing attacks at INEC offices, have they been found?
Well, we don't know the motives behind the attacks on INEC offices and INEC facilities. But INEC offices and INEC facilities are national assets belonging to the people of this country. And these assets are very important and fundamental for electoral continuity and for electoral business. The chairman of the commission was in Ogun State to visit our Abeokuta South local government office that was burnt. And we saw the extent of damage that was done there. We also visited the Alake of Ebaland, who assured us of the support of the traditional institutions in respect of our conduct of elections, and also assured us that the INEC offices will be adequately protected in his domain. We also met with the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security at the state level. We met with the representative of the Commissioner of Police, the director of DSS, and other security agencies, and they assured the commission that they are investigating the arson attack in our Abeokuta South local government office, and that they are making progress with investigation, and that they are confident that some of the perpetrators of the arson will be identified and arrested. So we are confident that the security agencies will do the needful, one, to locate some of the persons attacking our offices, secondly, to unmask their motives for all these attacks. But the chairman of the commission has assured that we have the capacity to recover and recover quickly, and that if the motive of those who are attacking our facilities is to derail the conduct of the 2023 general election or to distract the attention of the commission, that they will not succeed, because we are determined and we are resolved to proceed with the election, and nothing will stop the commission from proceeding with the preparations for the election.
Well, while we look forward to unmasking who the perpetrators of this attack are, I'd like to know what measures have been put in place to safeguard INEC facilities and even personnel going forward into the election so that we do not have these attacks recurring again.
As of today, there are two classes of sensitive materials that the Commission has. One, the BVAS, and then the ballot papers and the resources. We have agreed on a two-part approach to the securing of INEC facilities and equipment, especially sensitive materials. The BVAS, as a sensitive material, is in the custody of the Independent National Electoral Commission, and they are being secured by the DSS, by the Nigerian Police, by the Civil Defense, by the Nigerian Fire Service, and so on. And so we don't have challenges in relation to that. And these equipments are not in any of our local government offices. We also agree that the ballot papers and the resources will remain with the Central Bank of Nigeria for safe custody. So these critical facilities and critical assets are not in our local government offices. Now, in relation to the protection of our offices, the DSS, the police, and the army have beefed up security in the 36 state offices of the Commission and then the one in the Federal Capital Territory. And they have also assured that they will also beef up security in our local government offices. And then they also promise to upscale information gathering and information sharing around our facilities to make sure that these offices and these facilities are secured as we go into the critical phase of the electoral process. But we are worried about the safety of our officials and also the type of fear and the type of anxiety those who are carrying out these attacks are trying to instill in the minds of the voters. But we want to assure Nigerians that this commission is determined to proceed with the election and nothing will distract us from proceeding with this election.
All right. And speaking of this BVAS, does it concern you about these rumors that have been peddled around? Also, it's an investigation by the CUPP, the Coalition of United Political Parties, that there's an ongoing plot by a certain political party in the country to engage not only in vote buying, but also in a scheme in order to intimidate or scuttle the INEC chairman, Mahmoud Yakubu, for the use of BVAS for the upcoming elections. Have you heard any of that? Does it concern you? What are your thoughts?
Well, if you look at the law, the Electoral Act 2022 makes it mandatory that the Commission shall use the smart card reader or any other electronic device for the purpose of voter authentication and accreditation. And that's exactly the purport of Section 47, subsection 2 of the Electoral Act. So the use of the BVAS is a mandatory legal requirement, and the Commission does not have a discretion in terms of the use of the BVAS for election. Secondly, it is also mandatory for the Commission to upload polling unit level result in real time into our INEC result viewing portal. It's also a mandatory provision of the law, and we don't have a discretion in relation to this. On the issue of rumors surrounding the chairman of the commission, as of today, the chairman of the commission is presiding over a meeting with all the resident electoral commissioners throughout the federation. Day before yesterday and yesterday, he presided over a meeting of all the administrative secretaries of the commission. We are considering the standard operating procedure for PVC collection. Yesterday, the chairman was at the international airport to supervise the movement of BVAS to the various states of the federation. So the chairman is focused. The chairman is concentrating on the job the Nigerian people have given him to do. And he is not listening to rumors, and he's not allowing his attention to be diverted, because there's a big task ahead of us, and we are determined to deliver on our mandate. And we are not looking back at all.
Well, Mr. Okoye, some people are also worried about the electronic transmission of results. They are worried that it could be manipulated during the electronic transmission. Some people are also worried about the issue of network, especially in rural areas. What has been done to ensure that we do not have all such challenges during and after the election?
Well, since 2020, the Commission has conducted 105 off-cycle elections in different parts of the country. And in all these places, we did transmit polling unit level results to our INEC result viewing portal, and we did not have any challenge whatsoever. The Commission does not transmit raw figures. What we transmit are from EC8A, which is the polling unit level result, into our INEC result viewing portal. So we have no concerns whatsoever relating to the safety of the Form EC8A, which we are transmitting into our INEC result viewing portal. The issue of whether there is network in some parts of the country or there is no network is a moot point. We are no longer debating such things, because that debate took place before the passage of the Electoral Act 2022. And as I pointed out, it is now mandatory for us to transmit polling unit level results into our INEC result viewing portal. We have assured the nation, we have assured the country that we have the capacity and we have the resources to carry out this transmission. And we have done it in over 105 by-elections that we conducted, and we will do it with the 2023 general election. And so we don't have any fears whatsoever in relation to what people are now raising. It's a debate that had taken place previously, and the Commission will not engage in that debate at this point in time.
And just to press a similar point along that line, cybercrime, we know that BVAS is definitely a technological upgrade, and we do know that there are individuals all over the world who might be interested in sabotaging or manipulating our own elections via technological means. Have tests been carried out in that regard as well?
My answer is yes. And it is continuing. The BVAS works offline. The BVAS is only used for voter accreditation and authentication to make sure that the person who has come to the polling unit on election day is carrying a permanent voter's card issued by the Commission, and that the person is the person captured in our voters register as the authentic person who registered, as the validly registered person. So the BVAS will check the fingerprints of the individual, and if the fingerprint passes, the person will be given a ballot paper to go and vote. If the fingerprint does not pass, we check the person's face. If the facial does also fails, what that means is that the person who has come to the polling unit is engaged in identity theft, or he left his fingers and his face at home, and we will not allow the person to vote. And that is just the implication of what is going on. So the BVAS works offline, and the BVAS does not need any network for voter accreditation and authentication. So we don't have any fears relating to the use of the BVAS. But we have done a testing of the BVAS to be sure that it is robust enough for use. And the data of all registered voters in a particular polling unit will be uploaded into the BVAS for that particular polling unit. So the BVAS will contain only the data of persons registered in each polling unit and no other polling unit. So we have our processes under control, and we assure the nation that we have learned from previous mistakes, and that we have our processes improved. These processes we are tested in Ekiti, and also we are tested in Osun State, and we are confident that we have optimized the use of technology in the electoral process.
Now, Mr. Okoye, earlier, a while back, we heard that over 1 million people were found to be fraudulently registered. Can you enlighten us on how far INEC has gone as regards the cleanup of the voter register?
Well, the Commission has done very well in terms of the cleanup of the voters register. We used our automated biometric identification system to remove double and multiple registrants from the voters register. We also carried out what we call manual adjudication to remove visibly underage registrants from the voters register. So we have completed that. The law also obligates us to publish the register in the 774 local government areas of Nigeria, and in the 8,809 registration areas for claims and objections. We have done that, and we also uploaded the entire voters register in our website for people to also carry out claims and objections. These processes and procedures have been completed, and we completed it on the 25th of this month. So we have harvested all the claims, all the objections, and all the complaints, and we are attending to them. What we are doing presently is to consider the standard operating procedure for PVC collection. That's the meeting the chairman is presiding over. And the moment we are done with this particular meeting, the moment we finalize the SOP and the guidelines for PVC collection, the chairman will announce the exact date for PVC collection and the modalities and mechanisms for PVC collection. So we are moving very, very fast because we want Nigerians to have at least a 2-month window within which to collect their PVCs from all the our local government offices and registration centers.
Surely it will be a very busy Christmas and New Year's period for us going forward, especially with the PVC collections. I want to speak about the invalid registration of votes and the numbers that have been put forth. Some are crying foul, especially in the South. Now, your opinion on the fact that some in the country are saying that the amount of invalid registered votes, it's actually 62% in the South, mainly Ebonyi, Bayelsa, and River State. Now, that is a large contrast to the number of invalid registered voters in the North, which has 11.2%, which is the lowest rates in Zamfara, Kwara, Abuja, Plateau State, and Kaduna. Some are wondering how some of the zones that are known to have higher literacy rates seem to have lower invalid registration votes, registration registers than places with lower literacy rates. They're confused as to how that correlation has come about. Can you explain that? Is there any reason to see any red flags in those numbers?
Well, I don't have expertise in zonal profiling and in making analysis based on geopolitical zones. What I know is that the commission, as a commission, released the figures of invalid registrants state by state. Abia, Anambra, Ebonyi, Bayelsa, and so on and so forth. And that is the figure I want to follow. Now, what has taken place here is that while the commission was busy sensitizing people on the fact that the CVR was meant for only those who have attained the age of 18 and those who have not registered before, some persons kept on telling Nigerians and telling some people that the PVCs issued by the commission from 2011 has expired. And so because of that misinformation and disinformation, some people who were already registered, whose names were already in our database, went and registered afresh. And that led to the high level of, or the high number of invalid registrations we had. Our processes are robust. We use our automated biometric identification system to identify multiple and double registrants. There are some people who registered before wearing a jacket, and then they now went and registered again wearing a t-shirt, thinking that we don't have the mechanism to identify them. But technology moves forward. Technology does not travel backwards. So we use our technology to identify these individuals. And for each person who engaged in double or multiple registration, we have the data and we can prove that the individual engaged in multiple or double registration. That is exactly what we have done, and we are confident that we did the right thing. And we have also subjected this register to claims and objections and publish it in all the places I have mentioned. So if any individual is in doubt relating whether he or she did double or multiple registration, the person should confront us and we show the person the data. But the person should be ready to face prosecution, because engaging in double or multiple registration is an electoral offense, and we are not going to spare any individual who carried out multiple or double registration deliberately and maliciously.
Well, Mr. Okoye, I would like to talk about measures being taken by INEC to ensure a level playing field for all political parties and to caution the excesses of politicians. For instance, we've heard of some governors banning the use of public facilities for political campaigns. We've heard of imposing fees on campaign billboards and posters, or even removing campaign materials of opponents for frivolous reasons. We've also had attacks on certain personalities while they were holding their rallies or launching their campaign. What's INEC INEC stance on all this? Very briefly, please.
Well, the chairman of the commission, based on the reports we got from the various states and various local governments, convened the meeting of all the registered political parties and pointed out to them the dangers of engaging in politically motivated violence and also the dangers of not allowing political opponents, so to say, to use facilities. This was followed up with a meeting they had with the political parties and the candidate had with the Inspector General of Police. So they had already been given the rules and regulations guiding political campaigns, guiding rallies and processions. And they have also been told in no uncertain terms that the Commission and the security agencies will enforce the provisions of the law if any of the candidates or if any of the political parties engages in violation. And we are also engaging all the critical stakeholders to make sure that public facilities are made available on equal basis to all the political parties for them to carry out their campaigns.
Well, this was a very thoughtful and enlightening conversation with you this afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us on the program, Festus Okoye, and all the best of luck for 2023.